Happy Wednesday, everyone. It's pizza day here, so thanks for joining me. We're gonna get started. If you caught my video earlier, you'll see that I made some pizza dough in advance just a couple hours ago, so there's plenty of time. All right, and when you find me, say hi so that we can visit in the comments. You just try commenting. I'll see your comments will come up on my screen, and then I can visit with you. And if you have questions, ask away. I will be downloading this video later to post in some of my party groups so that I can share fresh, real content of me making pizza. So yes, if I can do it, you can do it too. All right, so what I have going here is I'm cooking up some sausage, spicy Italian sausage meat. And it is just about done. I'm using my mix and chop and my wok, stainless steel wok, and I have the oven at 475, and I have it preheating with the pizza stone in it. So it's going to be nice and hot when I put my pizza on there. All right, so this is, I'm going to turn that off. It's all cooked up, and I'm going to get my dough, I'm going to get my dough, my cheese already. I didn't cook, give me one quick second, I apologize. So I bought Italian sausages, and I cut the casing off it and just pulled it off, and then cooked up the meat, and I used the scissors. So I just needed to properly wash my scissors. So if you don't have these scissors, they're fabulous. You can take them apart and wash them. You can sharpen them if you want to. And then you just simply put them back together again. And now you have scissors, for everything. Whether you're cutting chicken bones or you're cutting vegetables or you're opening your mozzarella cheese, you can go ahead and get that ready. Okay, so I'll grate it right onto my pizzas. The other thing I'm going to do is make sauce, and I'm also going to cut up my onions. I'll show you how I do it, and I'd love to hear how you do something so that we can all learn from each other. Sorry about that. All right, so my chef's knife, and what I'm going to do is cut these not in round circles but in long wedges. Because I find that it's less stringy that way. Hi, Nikki. Hey, girl. Oh, my word. How much fun to have you today. Alrighty. Okay, and we go through like quite a bit of onion on a pizza. I find that it adds such beautiful flavor. Are you guys onion people on your pizzas? This is kind of dangerous. The other way to do this quickly is to cut it this way and peel off that outside skin. Okay, so what I'm going to do is cut that root end, and then so you can see that rather than doing it in slices this way, which then you end up with those little strings, which everybody, oh, red onion, I love red onion. Okay. This is yellow cooking onion. I'm going to cut it in fine little wedges in like a fan shape, like this. And then there's less, you don't get those strings. And again, I'm just going to tip this over just to be extra safe. And now I have wedges that sort of stay together. We're going to do some more because that's never enough. Yes, red onion. So big difference, such great flavor from red onions, right? And yellow cooking onions have great flavor. When everything cooks down, it's going to be less potent. So in order to get great flavor, you need to use an onion that's fairly potent. All right, next up, so I'm gonna do, what do you put on your pizzas? I wanna know. Because we're gonna do one without green pepper and one with green pepper. My word. Okay, the sauce I'm going to do last. I might just actually
top of that. Moving right along with tears in our eyes. Oh my word, not saving those today. Okay. So here's my dough. I just stretched it about 15 minutes ago and added some olive oil. What I'm gonna do, the olive oil will help my dough relax and help me stretch it out, and I'm good. All right, because my hands are gonna get dirty here. I'm going to go ahead and press this out, and I kind of use my hands to roll towards the outside, and I want to leave a little bit of a lip, an edge on the edge of my dough. Hang on. Okay, I might cut my head off, but that's okay. At least you can see, because this is the piece that I find maybe the most challenging, and I do find that it works better than using a roller. And you're gonna also see that my dough is at room temperature. So if you've got stuff that's cold out of the fridge, it is not going to relax because it's freezing cold, does not want to be touched. So this is my dough. Yeah, so if yours is cold, just leave it on the counter, put it in your quick cooker on proof for about 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes. You'll find it relaxes all out. Make sure you've undone the bag so that it has room, because it's going to expand and relax. All right. I'm going to put a little extra olive oil on here because I'm going to fold it over on its face, and I don't want it to stick. And that's just simply so I can transfer, hopefully, transfer, there we go, I did it. Now this, so we're just gonna adjust our roundness of our pizza. Okay, look how beautiful. So my counter's a bit oily, that's gonna be a bit challenging. That's okay, it's not the end of the world. Taylor, can you get paper towels? There seems to be none left. You just used it. Okay, that would be really helpful because I have olive oil in hands. So what we're gonna do is we're going to make a sauce, and I make mine really quickly. I never buy it. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing. I make it with one large can of diced tomatoes or tomatoes, canned tomatoes, and a can of tomato paste. Working with greasy hands here. I'm also gonna put pepperoni on here. Is it gonna be good? Okay, so if you're watching, I wanna know what you put on your pizzas. Thank you, love. No pepperoni, no green pepper? Or, yes, green pepper. Thank you. All right. I buy is whole tomatoes, but the brand does matter, and so some brands are more expensive, they're less acidic, they're sweeter, and they don't taste, they taste better. It's the honest to goodness truth. So it might be worth spending a little bit more. It's up to you. All right, so tomato paste is obviously a lot thicker and a lot sweeter, a lot less acidic, and so it helps thicken up your tomatoes and sweeten them, so you don't have to add sugar or carrots or something like that to it, and it helps you make like an instant sauce. I think I'm wearing that sauce. Yes, I am. All right, so the next thing we're gonna add is some, I forgot to get this out, Italian seasoning and some salt. So tomatoes being really acidic need salt. Sorry, I really got my head cut off here. So I'm gonna put a tablespoon of our Italian seasoning. I'm gonna put I think is it a tablespoon of salt, Taylor? I think it's a tablespoon of salt. Did I put a tablespoon of salt? He doesn't remember. It seems like so much, it's a tablespoon of salt. Tomatoes, because they're acidic, if you put salt, it counterbalances. They really need each other. So don't be dismayed by the amount of salt that you're gonna need to add. And then, because everything's better with a little fat, we put some olive oil in. Now that's how I make my sauce. I'm gonna blend it up, just whir it. I don't have to cook it. I just use the grind feature, and I only do it for a minute. So put on grind, and we will have sauce in a moment. You can see it changes into this orange. All right. And we have sauce, pizza sauce. It's thicker, it's sweet, it's delicious, it's, yeah, it's all those things. All right. These away. Alrighty, here we go. Here comes my pizza, and my stone is hot, so it's ready to start assembling. So I want to put some on. I don't want to pour it on because it actually makes a dent. And I want to know, do you put sauce on the top edge? Do you put it right to the edge? In our house, Taylor puts it right up on the edge. Anna doesn't, but she puts more on. She's a sauce girl. Less cheese, more sauce. Lots of people are the opposite. More cheese, less sauce. I don't know. Is this enough? What would you put? Hi, Lorna. I'm curious. We all have our favorites, don't we? Okay. Put that to the side. And then we're going to grab a spoon and put let's put a little more Italian on because it's just so good. One of the things that some pizza places do, like really great pizza places do, is they add a little olive oil to the very end. So the pizza's cooked, they drizzle it with olive oil. That extra fat content really amps it up. Yeah. And some people put oil in the stone, like and so it's quite a greasy crust already. We don't have a greasy crust, so a little olive oil on the top would be certainly welcome. All right, so we have Italian sausage. We're gonna do some onion, and I'm just gonna try and crumble it into smaller pieces. I find, I don't know about you, I put what feels like way too much onion, and it shrinks down into nothing anyways, and so then it's just right later. But it always feels like almost too much when it's all raw. There we go, quite white. And we're gonna cover these up so I don't cry again. And then I'm gonna take, can you see? Yes. I'm gonna take the sides off my green pepper, and I'm gonna put green pepper on this one. Put chunks. I love, you know what? I learned to like green pepper by pizza. So I used to really dislike it, and I didn't like it on pizza at first, but I love the taste that it added to pizza, and I try not to skip it now as an adult. Okay, somewhat even. What do you think? And so I should put some pepperoni on here. Yes, I should, because everything's better with pepperoni, right? All right, let's put these on, and then I'm gonna use my nice cheese grater, grate some cheese. I did find a big difference, by the way, just so some of you have watched me make pizza before, and the type of mozzarella cheese makes a really big difference, I've found, and what I buy at Costco is way too soft, and you basically have to slice it and put slabs on, which really you can't even tell the difference. But if you want to grate it and not be really frustrated, then buy one that says mozzarella for pizza. It's firmer and much easier to grate. Now, if you buy it pre-grated, you're gonna find that it probably is not going to melt as nicely for you, because it has to be coated so it doesn't stick to itself again. And so then it's coated with a cellulose, which prevents it from melting very nicely, but it doesn't stick to it either. So you can see how nicely this grates, and it is the type of cheese. All right, not too much. Get to this edge. So you can see our cheese grater grates really quickly, very nicely, stays sharp for years and years. Really popular product. Okay, now comes the best part, which is the pizza peel. So I'm gonna go ahead and slide my pizza peel right under that. You can see it's hanging off. I didn't do a very good job, really, of making this the right size. It's a little bit falling off the front and falling off the back. Can I do this? I'd rather it falls off the back, because at least I can support it. This is gonna get dicey. All right, so I have my pizza pan halfway in the oven. We're gonna be fast. We're gonna go ahead and slide this. Come on, slide, there we go. Right on. So just slide it. The pizza stone has a little wee lip at the back of it so that it doesn't slide off the back when I'm sliding it on with my pizza peel. But because my stone is nice and hot, it will quickly cook, and it should be ready in about 10 minutes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to start my next one, and I'll get the dough rolled out before I put it on the parchment. Here we go. So if you missed the first, we're gonna do it again. If you have any questions, anybody? Hi Sandy, how are you? All right, so I did not make it with olive oil, but I put olive oil on it afterwards, and this I made a couple of hours ago. So again, I'm going to start using my two hands, and I kind of do this with my hands. So I'm rolling it out, but I'm just going kind of near the edge, and I'm kind of flattening the palms of my hands as well as I stretch it. And this is kind of how I've learned to spread it out. Know that it's gonna, it's elasticy. It's going to come back on you a little bit, but if it's room temperature, it's not going to come back that much. So as long as this is oiled relatively well, I should be able to transfer. I'm gonna put a little bit more. This is pretty greasy stuff, but I'm going to fold it over on top of itself. Because it's oiled, it shouldn't stick. And I should be able to unfold it, and that's an easy way, if you do it in quarters, easy way to transfer it over to parchment. Try and wipe some of this off, maybe. I'm living on the edge here. Ugh, did this in the wrong spot. Oh my word, you guys. I did it. I think I did it. Yeah. I think I turned it or something. Alrighty. So we got it back. We have sort of a circle. There we go. time for some toppings. Looking good? Coming for pizza? Come on over. Okay. Sauce. Better to spoon it than pour it, because pouring it makes a dent in your dough. And I think I need a bit more. So the tool I'm using is the, what is this thing called? Scoop and spread. I think it's for peanut butter and jam. Like one you can use to scoop it out, the other one you can spread it. And it has a not sharp but still serrated edge that you can actually cut a sandwich. That's kind of what its intention was. It's kid friendly, everybody friendly. It's also heat safe on this end. Yeah, fabulous. All right. Guess we'll put a little more Italian seasoning just because it's good. Some meat. There we go. So this is spicy Italian. Another thing we love, obviously, is bacon. Ham, I mean, really, but I do love Italian sausage on it. I'm gonna put a little bit more because we have it, and maybe a little, it's gonna be a bit heavy, but oh well. All right. Onions, no green peppers on this one, and then some pepperoni and cheese. Yum. To me, I think onion is my favorite part. You could make an onion. So one of the girls on our team, Sandra, taught us how to make an onion pizza. Oh my word. So you just put no sauce, no meat. You just have crust, olive oil, Italian seasoning is fine, or you can use the rosemary herb is also delicious, and just load it with probably 3 or 4 times this much wedges like this of onion. So good. And just bake it, and it all softens down. It kind of disappears. You can drizzle it with olive oil again at the end, salt. Delicious, just delicious. Okay, might not need as much pepperoni on this one. This is gonna be a meat lovers. All right, and I'm hoping that everything's good in my oven over there. My pizza's baking, and I can show you how it ends up. A little more cheese. So that's the tools. It has been 20 minutes, and we have 2 pizzas, homemade large pizzas made, and with all homemade ingredients. So how easy is that? And I really didn't, all I did to prep was cook the Italian sausage in advance, made the dough in advance, and you saw how fast it was to make this particular sauce. Cheese. I'll show you the brand I used. It's a Saputo mozzarella Isima. It's pizza mozzarella. That was the brand that I used. And one of these easily makes 2 large pizzas. I think it was $5.50 maybe for the cheese. So it's obviously a cheaper way to, you know, make pizzas over time. I don't think I need all this cheese actually. But a few good tools will make a big, big difference. There we go. So this is ready to go in the oven. Let's check. Not quite ready. Almost. So unless you have questions, I'm gonna let you go, and I'll post pictures of the finished pizza when I'm done. What I love to do is, and you probably do this too, rest it for a little while when it first comes out of the oven. Needs to rest for probably 10 minutes, because otherwise everything just slides off. It's too hot, all of those things. Is adding the cheese at the end a better result as opposed to on the crust, do you mean, Lorna? I'll wait for you to answer so I can answer you. I always put the cheese on the top. I don't put it on the bottom. I don't know. Do you put it on the bottom? It always, and the other thing is, I think that if you put a lot of cheese on, it kind of makes like a layer, and then if there's not too much cheese, it kind of melts down onto the stuff as opposed to a layer, and then it kind of slides, and you do both, Nikki. Okay, there you go. There you go, lots of cheese. Sounds delicious. So just a little bit on the crust, put your toppings on. So Nikki, do you put your sauce on first and then your cheese? Curious. Yeah, both is always good, right? And I'm pretty sure, Nikki, that you put bacon on yours, right? So I think the thing that is so cool about using the pizza stone, and that this whole thing is on sale, by the way. So if you haven't picked up sauce, then a little cheese. Okay. If you haven't picked up one of our new fusion pizza stones, now is a great time because they're on sale. Okay, sauce, cheese, toppings, and then more cheese on the top. And if you put mozzarella or Parmesan, a little Parmesan in there too, it's really good. Probably could vary up the cheeses for sure. We have a great recipe, and if you guys haven't tried it yet, there's it's called Farmer's Market Pizza. In the old days, we used to call it veggie something. I can't remember. It had a different name. But it's now called Farmer's Market Pizza, and it's mushrooms and zucchini and onions, maybe tomato. There's no pizza sauce. There's olive oil and there's garlic. Garden veggie pizza. Was that it? It was baked. But you put olive oil on the crust and pressed garlic onto it, fresh garlic. Oh my word, so good. But no tomato sauce. And then Italian seasoning was added to the cheeses, and you had 3 cheeses, I think. Parmesan, yes, Parmesan, mozzarella, and cheddar. And you mix the 3 cheeses, and you mix in Italian seasoning so that it becomes like this seasoned cheese mix. And you, I think you put some of it on the crust, so you have the olive oil and the garlic and then the cheese, half of the cheese. Then you put the vegetables in there, and if you think about it, the mushroom, no, it wasn't mayo in the crust too, actually, Nikki, but you, that's a different one. That's the tomato basil squares. But you, the mushrooms and the zucchini, as they cook, the juices come out of them and they make essentially a sauce, and it is so delicious. And people are shocked how much they love it because it's all veggie, this like pizza, and you know, not everybody's into veggie pizza. It's delicious. We get rave reviews. It's more popular than people expect. But yeah, it has the 3 cheeses with the Italian seasoning mixed right in there, and a lot of it. Half all those veggies, and the rest, it's really loaded up. I think the bottom cheese layer is almost like a barrier for the juices so that it doesn't make the crust soggy. That was the other advantage of it. So yeah, really, really great pizza recipe. Let me just check again. Yeah, this one is done. So what I'm gonna do, this is great timing, so I'll get to show you. Here we go. I'm going to put the pizza, I'll put the finished pizza here for now. Normally I would just put it somewhere on a cooling rack, but I want you to be able to see it. So because I used parchment, so and hopefully I think you can see into the oven. Yeah, you can. Okay, so I'm just gonna lift the parchment and slide this right underneath. can see my pizza is all done. You can, let's see. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put my thumb on the parchment and slide it right off. So it just slides right off the parchment. That goes in the garbage. I slide this one under the next batch. Here we go. Into the oven. There we go. And that second one is on. You're gonna find that this stone fusion saves time because you can, you know, slide one on, slide the next one on, and you don't have to preheat that stone. So the second one, like the pizzas cook faster. So I want you to see, can I show you the underside? This thing's hot. The underside, I want you to see the crust and how nicely browned it is all the way across. Whew, hot. Hi, Catherine, how are you today? Yeah, doesn't that look so good? So beautiful crust results on the bottom, crispy. What I find when, rather than using a roller to roll it out and using my hands like that, I find that it still has bubbles and it's a nicer crust. I find it a bit hard if I roll it out with a rolling pin. So those are my tips. Smells like delicious pizza in our house. So again, I'm gonna let it rest for 10 minutes and then dig in. So thanks for joining me so much today. Yeah, this is the whole sale thing. And next, I'm gonna run a special offer actually next week. So stay tuned to hear all about that because we are expecting, as you've been reading, we're expecting some supply chain issues just globally, generally, and Pepperchef has done a lot of planning for it. So we think we're in a really good place. However, I do want all of my customers to not be affected, and so I'm going to run a shared rewards for my VIPs so that you can get some of those things early if you are going to be wanting to do that. So that's not going to be till next week. All right. I'll give you more information later. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.